Hey everybody, it's your boy John, and I'm coming at you today with a review I've been promising for a long time, The Fantastic Four, the world's greatest comics magazine, Epic Collection, Volume 1 from 1961 to 1963, the first 18 issues of Fantastic Four. I lost this book for a while and refound it again. Very happy that I refound this because it's pretty hard to find right now. It is getting a reprint, or maybe it did get a reprint. I didn't want to buy the book again, so I'm very happy to have found this book, finished reading it, and this is some of the best stuff I've ever read, hands down. You can stop watching the review now, I guess. Yeah, it's got Kirby's art, it's got Stan Lee. This is just some of the most inspired stuff I've seen them do. This was the beginning of the Marvel Universe, really, where they first started their superhero book, and it's got so many classics in it. We've of course got the original Fantastic Four beginning, which is the first issue, where they just have to deal with some monsters and stuff like that. And we see what's going on, and then we get into the origin story of them going into outer space. We've got the Mole Man bringing up these monsters from underneath. And then issue 2, the Skrulls show up in issue 2. So we've got some classic stuff right out the gate. Kirby is good. Yeah, I think as the volume goes along, he just keeps getting better. So it becomes, you just see ridiculous stuff in these early volumes, which is a lot of fun. I love the dynamic colors and everything. I could just read Jack Kirby stuff all day long. Sometimes I do actually do that. Issue number 3, we got this like Miracle Man dude who they have to fight, and he's like a master illusionist and all that, and a hypnotist. And they have to deal with that. It's pretty fun. I would say of the first few issues, this is the one that stood out the most, the Submariner. I actually read this and I enjoyed it so much that I went out and I got the Timely Golden Age Classic Submariner book to read about his Golden Age adventures, because he actually continues from the Golden Age into here. He's like a hobo that Johnny Storm finds, and it turns out he's the Submariner, and then that he lost his memories or something like that, and then he comes back and he just is like this total a-hole who wants to kidnap Sue and fight everybody, and it's awesome. This was a very, very good issue, and I'm glad I actually got into this and started reading that Golden Age stuff, because it's a lot of fun tying all the history together too. So the 4th issue is really where it starts to take off and really becomes something special, I think. And then it just keeps getting better from there. The art, as you see from Kirby, just keeps getting better. It's like he's dialed in with these characters by issue 4. And then issue 5, we hit Doctor Doom. And Doctor Doom is just being his normal Doctor Doom self. There ends up going back in time where Ben Grimm's a pirate. It's very bizarre, but that's the sort of fun stuff you'll get out of this stuff. Sorry about my phone ringing. Nothing I can do about that at the moment. And Doctor Doom and the Submariner team up right after that. That's maybe why it's pretty memorable, because you get a sort of a 3-parter right there as it shows up, and then the Submariner actually has to go into space with this weird space helmet. It's again, just very bizarre stuff that's very funny. He's hopping on asteroids out there. And just super fun as the Baxter building was taken off into space, and they have to bring them back now. Then we have some aliens show up. The aliens are in cool classic Kirby looking fashion, and that's fun. Planet X. They recycle some of the concepts I've noticed from some of the earlier Marvel stuff, some of their like 6-page early review, short stories, which I went over in like the Ditko Lee omnibus, and some of the stuff from Planet X is definitely a recycling of that. And then I'm sorry, we skipped the next issue, which gets the Mole Man. The Mole Man, not the Mole Man, I'm sorry, the Puppet Master. And the Puppet Master is making little, I guess, voodoo dolls of some of the Fantastic Four. I don't understand why he doesn't just like squish them as voodoo dolls or whatever. He does all these bizarre things. They eventually rescue Alicia Masters, who then becomes the Thing's girlfriend. Submariner comes back later, and he has this like weird scheme where he like takes over Hollywood and like breaks up the Fantastic Four and then like fights them all. Very bizarre in this one. But he does pretty good in this one. He has a pretty good fight. and they kind of peacefully part. He really wants to Storm, is what it comes down to, and she is into that for some reason. And Doctor Doom is right back again, right after this. Wow. And he shot off into space before this, and now he has returned and has a little fight with them and tries to use their gadgets against them. And eventually, there's another recycled concept from their short stories. There's a shrink ray where he just shrinks for eternity. And that's the end of that. I love this pin-up here of Sue Storm. Every issue really from issue 4 on is just like so action-packed and fun. I just like didn't want to put it down. And the Impossible Man's a really fun one. This ends up something that it's almost like the Secret War 2, where a guy comes to planet Earth and kind of like doesn't quite understand what it means to be human, starts messing around with everybody. It's a more condensed issue, and with more dynamic drawings. It's like Secret Wars 2 was not that good, but this issue was solid. And then of course the Thing fights the Hulk, a very classic issue right there. And they deal with Bruce Banner and the Hulk, which is pretty fun. The Red Ghost is the next issue. And I don't remember the Red Ghost. Let me see if I can remember who this is. Oh, he's a commie who then tries to go get powers for himself and bring some monkeys into space to get Fantastic Four powers from the cosmic rays also. We meet the Watcher in this issue. That's right, this is a very interesting issue. The Watcher's kind of odd. And then they fight this guy on the moon where they're for some reason in his atmosphere. And just bizarre concept sci-fi stuff again. Love it. We get the Submariner back again to fight, and this time they get into his underground base, I believe. And yeah, and actually have to deal with that. Fun. Every Submariner, she's very fun here. I didn't care for the Submariner so much until I started reading this. And then in this issue, I don't remember. Puppet Master Return, is that what this is? Oh yeah, more strange creatures. Oh yeah, this is the Tinkerer has this weird android thing. And these android rock creatures are again like concepts that I saw from the short stories that they're kind of recycling into the superhero book. The short stories always ended with like a weird mad scientist doing something and then like having some regret or something like that. In these versions, they just take the concepts and then like have the superheroes fight them and defeat them. Dr. Doom comes back again after he shrunk to eternity, and the Fantastic Four ends up going into what's called his Microverse, which is a very cool little universe where there's this queen who is interested in Johnny Storm. The Ant-Man is in here as well. This is a 2-part issue. I believe it's the first 2-part story in Fantastic Four, which comes about a year and a half into things. And he eventually then takes over the Fantastic Four's headquarters, and they try to fight him, and of course he wins. Of course, they win, rather, in the end. Everything's happy in the end. And then the volume ends with actually the most dynamic maybe yet again. This happens over and over again with the Super Skrull. And the Super Skrull comes and fights, and they figure out a way to turn off his powers, and voila. This was actually one of the most straightforward, probably, stories of the last few, but it's still fun nonetheless, and the Super Skrull is a very interesting deal. So I'm very happy to see it, and I'm very happy to see all the stuff in here. All right, overall, this is, this is comics perfection right here. So if you're gonna get one epic collection or whatever, this is probably the one you should get and try to hunt down. I hear volumes 2 and 3 and 4 are even better than this. And I'm going to be starting reading those shortly. Anything Stan Lee and Jack Kirby is just very solid, except for the X-Men. So this is good, and definitely the Thor volumes 1 through 5, where these same gentlemen, is just as excellent and wonderful. So I've actually read all those Thors, so I'm not going to be reviewing those anytime soon, but I will, as I go, continue through the Fantastic Four. Hope you pick this up, and also like, subscribe, do all that if you like my reviews, if you enjoy my content, and consider buying my books. I've got a new book out as of today. It's called The Iron Wedding, and I've got the link in the comments, so enjoy. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.